it'll give you that kick, like right there in the back.
Sonic Ultimate Drink Stop.
This muscle right here.
It might be a little tart for me.
Last month, we enjoyed taking our show on the road a bit to check in with Dr. Shawn Jones at Chattanooga Wellness. We're back this month for another visit. Good to see you. Thanks for welcoming us back.
Welcome here, and welcome to our humble abode again. We're so glad to have you back.
So last month, we'll go back a few weeks, you and I were talking about how so many people are looking for the new year. Their weight loss is a typical New Year's resolution.
Absolutely.
You talked about your Chirothin and the laser and how you can facilitate that.
And it's helping a lot of people. A lot of people come in since then, yeah.
But this morning we've switched gears and we've come into the room where you do your chiropractic work, which we'll touch on, but you do a lot of nutrition counseling, if you will, to see if there's a reason that people might be struggling.
Yeah, it's called nutrition response testing, and there's always, the body will respond. You just have to know what to do for the body to help it respond properly. When people aren't losing weight or they have other issues, they come in, and the number one reason is the thyroid. Now, they go and get their thyroid checked by the medical doctor, and they run the lab work, and sometimes it says it looks normal limits, but is it really? Because it's like nuclear waste. Once nuclear waste is spent, it's still nuclear waste. It's still radioactive, but you can't use it anymore. Your hormones, if you don't have the right nutrition, you can't make the hormones properly. And hormones work on a lock and key basis. And if they don't form properly, they can't work properly. So even though it's in the blood, it may not be working right. And so your thyroid gets off kilter. So the first thing we do is test your thyroid and your whole body and see what does the body need us to do to unblock it so it can go ahead and start losing weight and reshaping its body properly.
Are you testing in the same way that people might be accustomed to testing? Is it going to be a finger prick, or do you use something different?
No finger pricking, no blood testing. We use muscle testing. With muscle testing, there's always an answer. It's a binary system of communication, just like a computer. Your computers are modeled after your brain. And so we test with a yes, no, a strong or weak. And so when we do one thing at a time and it opens up your regulation, we know. So when I put my hand over your belly button, your arm should go weak. And because of the corona thing, we're keeping our 6 feet apart. But I would test it and show you when you're not blocked. I put my stretch hand over your belly button, your arm should go weak. If it doesn't, I have to find out what, like fish oil or whatever it is, the omega-3 fatty acids, what is it your body needs to open its regulation so you can heal. When you're what we call blocked regulation, your body doesn't heal properly. And so first thing in a nutrition response testing is get rid of any blockings through the body orifices, and then there's a thing called switching. This has to do with your autonomic nervous system. You have your sympathetics and your parasympathetics. Two sides of a coin. Sympathetics is stress, fight or flight syndrome. Parasympathetic is in charge of relaxation, like sleep, bowel control, bladder control. All the bedroom functions are parasympathetic relaxation functions. In fact, when you take fish oils, the right kind, only take pharmaceutical grade, not non-pharmaceutical grade. Everything we carry is pharmaceutical grade. It will upregulate your parasympathetic nervous system so you sleep. So when should you take it? At nighttime. When does everybody else take it? In the morning. No way, Jose. You take it at nighttime, and I'll tell you how many. This new kind called Oprima is concentrated. Most people only need to take 2 or 3 at the max, because that's like taking 10 of the old tuna oil we used to use. We have both available. We test for whatever type of tuna oil. There's 4 different types. What type tests best for you? And it works tremendous.
It looks like a spice cabinet up there, Shawn. I mean, you've got all different options for people. So besides the fish oil, what else? I won't make you go through all of them.
There's 4 major stressors. You have metals and chemicals. We check against the body, see what stressors are affecting the body. And then there's foods and infectious challenges. I can't diagnose infections, but I can see what challenges your body trying to handle. Is it viral challenge? Is it bacterial, fungus, or is it parasite? A lot of times people get a parasite. We have ways to check that and then use natural means to help rid that from the body using nutrition response testing.
Okay, I asked you last time when we were here about the Chirothin what your typical response time was, and you mentioned it's typically a 6 weeks plan for people. If you're going to come in and do this nutrition response testing, do you give it a certain length of time to test it?
Yeah, the initial plan is 12 visits, and that's not over 12 weeks. We see you once a week for usually about the first 4 to 6 weeks, depending on what's going on with you. Once the thyroid clears and it's no longer irritating or whatever the main issue is, then we cut you back to every 2 weeks. And we do that for another 3 or 4 months, and then we go ahead and see how it's doing, and then we keep going, and we go ahead and get you down basically just once a month, and eventually 4 times a year, check your nutrition.
Okay.
And so it's really beautiful because there's always an answer for any health issue that you could be having at home. We just have to go in and test for it. And we have a system to test that's affordable, and we make sure that we only charge what standard process says to charge for supplements. And organic whole food supplements are safer, they're cheaper, and they work better. And guess what, gang? They only sell them through doctors' offices. You can't buy them in any store. You can't go to any nutrition store and buy them. Only in doctors' offices.
You mentioned one of the things you have is helpful for yeast infections.
Yeah. There's a form of garlic called garlic forte. And to make an herb pharmaceutical grade is expensive and it's hard, but standard process does it. And if somebody's having, like, we don't diagnose yeast infections, but if somebody says they're having irritation like that, we give them the garlic forte, and a lot of times it'll wipe it out. And if it gets serious, go get an antibiotic. We can go ahead and rebuild the immune system afterwards after you take an antibiotic that knocks it down and replenish your colon and get it working good.
I'm guessing that chair is your chiropractic chair, so
Yeah, this
you
is
are
one
doing
of our
that kind
chiropractic
of work.
tables right here. And so what I do, what makes me different about chiropractic care is, first off, is the laser. You know, we talk about lasers for lipolaser, we talk about lasers for the K laser we've talked about with neuropathy. This is a little laser we use here, and this laser is a little handheld one I keep in my pocket, and I pull it out, and I can take a weak muscle that I would show you if we didn't have to keep our distance.
Right.
And I can make a weak muscle strong in 2 or 3 seconds. Now, I have a degree in physical therapy. I'm not licensed as a physical therapist, but I have a degree in it. And it's really cool when I talk to PTs and I say, man, it's great to do 12 weeks of physical therapy, but let's make that muscle strong in 2 seconds and just work on strengthening the strength, not getting the tone there. I can reset the tone instantly using a laser. And it's kind of like a rheostat in the dining room. You touch the nerve root, go into that muscle. When it gets strong, all I have to do is laser it, about that long, and strong, and move on. So when I adjust somebody, I always check the muscles around the joints that are causing problems and see where the weaknesses are, and I reset them. Most of the time when I adjust you, 80% of the weaknesses are gone.
And
But
your
we still-
patients feel that right away?
Oh yeah, well it's really cool. Patient's like, wow, I can see, it's strong. The new patient just came in, his hand was really weak, and I adjusted him, I didn't have to use the laser. It was strong instantly. The median nerve was strong and the radial nerve.
And how long does that last?
Well, it's just like anything, you know, one adjustment's not going to cure you forever. You got to stick with care. So with chiropractic care, I like to see people twice a week the first couple of weeks and work our way down to just once a week and then eventually once a month. We have a program where you pay just a monthly fee and you come in once a week, kind of like a gym membership. You come in, you get your adjustment, you get the massage chair that you saw out there, and you get vibration therapy, all included with the adjustment because it all stimulates your brain. The proprioception and the massage chair just feels wonderful. You got to use that before you go. Oh my goodness, it's awesome.
So here's where you will find Dr. Shawn Jones. We're at the Chattanooga location this morning. You also have the office there in Cleveland.
Right next to Chattanooga Hospital at ChattanoogaChiropractic.com. Go right to our website.
That's the website, and you'll find them in Chattanooga, where we are this morning, over on East Brainerd Road. Thank you for letting us come back.
Thank you so much for being here. We love having you.
What's in Zaxby's new General Tso's sauce?